Good morning, everyone. Today, our Group 7, will be presenting about ethics and research. This is a really important topic that affects everyone involved in research, from students like us doing thesis projects, capstone, to professional researchers conducting scientific studies. We will be covering the key principles and practices that ensure research is conducted responsibly and ethically. So let's get started. Before we dive in, here's a quick overview of what we'll be discussing today. First is Introduction to Ethics, definition and meaning of search ethics, why research ethics is important, general basic principles, issues like authorship and plagiarism, peer review process, research involving animals and human subjects, research misconduct, research ethics specifically in India, and finally our conclusion. Now, let me begin with the introduction. Ethics are rules distinguishing right from wrong. Ethics are norms for acceptable versus unacceptable behavior. So, what is exactly ethics? Simply put, ethics are rules or guidelines that helps us distinguish what's right from what's wrong. Think of ethics as a moral compass that guides our behavior and decisions. Ethics are essentially norms. They tell us that what behavior is acceptable and what isn't. They help us make good choices when we are faced with difficult situations. Example for that is, imagine you find a wallet on the street with money and an ID inside. Ethics would guide you to return it to the owner rather than keeping it for yourself. That's ethics in everyday life, knowing the right thing to do and actually doing it. In research, ethics work the same way. They guide researchers to make honest, fair, and responsible decisions throughout their work. Ethics, branch of philosophy dealing with morals. Research ethics, principles guiding all research stages, planning, conducting, evaluating to ensure high standards. Now, let's define our terms more precisely. So, ethics is actually a branch of philosophy that deals with morals, with questions about what is right, wrong, good, and bad. Research ethics specifically refers to the principles that guides researchers through all stages of their research. This includes planning the study, conducting the actual research, and evaluating the results. The main goal is to ensure that high ethical standards are maintained throughout. Let's say, for example, you're a student or you were a someone planning to do a survey for your thesis or capstone about students' mental health. Research ethics would guide you to first get permission from your university ethics committee. Make sure students know they don't have to participate if they don't want to. Keep their responses confidential, presenting your findings honestly even if they don't match what you expected. All of these research ethics in action, making sure your research is planned and conducted in a way that everyone involved and maintains high standards. So this part presents the importance of research ethics. Four key reasons. First one is honesty. Promotes research aims, knowledge, truth. Next is fairness. Enables collaboration, trust, accountability, and respect. Third is accountability. Ensures public accountability and builds public support. Fourth is respect. Promotes social values, human rights, animal welfare. Now, you might be wondering, why is research ethics so important? Well, there are four main reasons. First is honesty. Research ethics promote the honesty, or it promotes honesty, which is essential for pursuing the real goals of research, discovering knowledge, and finding truth. Without honesty, research becomes meaningless. You know, discovering knowledge and finding truth. Without honesty and good, research becomes meaningless, just like I said. Next is fairness. Ethics enables fair collaboration among researchers. When everyone follows ethical guidelines, they can trust each other, hold each other accountable, and show mutual respect. This makes teamwork possible. Third is accountability. Research ethics ensures that researchers are accountable to the public. Most research is funded by taxpayers or affects society in some way. So researchers need to be answerable to the public. Following the ethics builds public trust and support. Lastly is respect. Finally, ethics promotes important social values like human rights and animal welfare. It ensures that research doesn't harm people or animals unnecessarily. If we put this on a scenario or an example, imagine a pharmaceutical company testing a new drug. If they fake their data to make the drug look more effective than it really is, it is violating honesty. Of course, this could harm patients who take the drug thinking it's safe and effective. Or consider a research team where one member steals another ideas and publishes them as theirs or as their own. This violates fairness. This destroys trust and makes collaboration impossible. This example shows why each of these ethical principles matters in a real research situation. So for us students and future researchers, understanding these ethical principles is crucial. Whether we're doing a small class project or major research, we need to conduct ourselves ethically. So the next part will be explained for my group mates.
My name is Lesbert Yonson. I will be presenting my part of the report which includes authorship, plagiarism, and peer review. Authorship. Criteria for claiming legitimate authorship. This means that only people who have genuinely contributed to the research shall be listed as authors. For example, those who helped in planning the study, collecting data, analyzing results, or writing the paper. Importance of giving proper credit to all contributors. Giving proper credit is important because it shows honesty and fairness in result. It also prevents conflicts and ensures that everyone receives recognition for their work. Plagiarism. Using others' work, ideas, or words without acknowledgement. This means copying someone else's work or ideas and presenting them as your own without mentioning the original author. This can include copying text data or even ideas. A serious ethical breach and academic offense. Plagiarism is taken very seriously in academics because it violates integrity. Peer review. A process to evaluate research quality and ethics before publication. This means that before research is published, it is checked by experts in the same field to ensure that the research is accurate, ethical, and reliable. Acts as community safeguard for standard. Purview helps maintain high standard in research by identifying mistakes, improving quality, and ensuring ethical practice are followed. That's all for me. Thank you.
Research with animals requires human treatment and ethical justification. Animal research must demonstrate that the benefits justify using animals, and the researcher must show there's no viable alternative. Animals must be treated humanly throughout the study, with proper housing, care, and minimal suffering. Follow principles of replacement, reduction, and refinement, the three R's. First, replacement. Use non-animal methods when possible, cell cultures, and computer models. Reduction. Use the minimum number of animals needed for valid results. The last one, refinement. Improve procedures to minimize pain and distress, better anesthesia, and enrich environments. Sample scenario. A scientist kay gusto mo test og new diabetes drug. First, nagtry siya og computer models and cell samples pero wala gyud siya nag-work. So, nag-animal testing siya as a replacement option. Instead of using 50 mice, 15 na ra iyang gi-use para less animals mapil. Mao na ang reduction. Then, gi-make sure po niya nga comfortable ang mice na sila clean cages, toys, and soft bedding. During procedures, kay anesthesia niya sila para dili sila maka-feel og pain, which is refinement. Research with human subjects. Informed consent is mandatory. People must understand the study and agree to participate voluntarily. Minimize harm, protect privacy and confidentiality. Keep people safe and keep their information private. The last one. Principle of beneficence and respect for person. Do good, don't harm, and respect people's choices. Sample scenario. A researcher kay nag-study og new therapy for anxiety. She explained everything to volunteers like what will happen and possible side effects and benefits. Design consent form to show they agree. And she keeps all medical files secured in a safe database. She checks participants weekly for safety. If someone feels uncomfortable, pwede ra sila mag-quit anytime with no pressure.
Hello everyone, I'm Christopher de Aringay and I'm here going to report research ethics in India. So, the research ethics are the moral principles of government guidelines kung giunsa ang research, pagplano, pagconduct, reported o pag-apply, especially when it involves human participants like animals or the environment. Then, are governed by national guidelines like example kaning ICMR, the Indian Council of Medical Research is India's main organization for promoting and regulating biomedical and health research. Working under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, it develops ethical guidelines to ensure safe, ethical, and high-quality research and support studies that address important national health issues. And then there is requires approval from institution ethics committees like the ICs. Required for all research involving human participants, they independently review, approve, and monitor research proposals to ensure ethical compliance. So, ilang main role is to ensure that all research follows the ICMR ethical guidelines and protects the rights and safety and well-being of the participants. So, in short, research ethics in India aims to ensure respect for human dignity, safety, welfare of participants, integrity, and honesty in research, social responsibility. And that's all. Thank you.
So, good day everyone. I am Alisson Perales. So, today I will report the conclusion part. So, research ethics is fundamental to ensure integrity, quality, and social value of all research. Upholding ethics is the responsibility of every researcher. So, this conclusion means doing research the right way is very important in any study. Ethics helps ensure research is honest, reliable, or may credibility. So the information can really be trusted, and it also makes sure mga participants are treated with respect, safety, or dignity throughout the research process. This reminds us that every researcher has a responsibility to be fair, careful, or truthful in collecting and presenting data. So, because the result can affect decisions, knowledge of society as a whole. By following ethical standard, research becomes more meaningful, responsible, or truly beneficial para sa tanan. So that's all for our conclusion. So thank you.